Hey Lawrence, Monty here. I'm sort of experimenting. I'm going to see, this is my third time doing it here. Sorry, I'm still got the vacation blues, trying to get back in the real swing of things here after a week being gone. So thanks for your email, and really appreciate it, and hope I can help you out here. And this is sort of inspired me to make a series of video lessons on the blues and soloing. So I hope this helps. And what I'm going to do is start with just some basic one chord stuff before you can be really good at improvising on multiple chords. Being able to solo on one chord is very important. So I'm going to talk about that. And I've got your email here. It says you've been taking bi-weekly lessons from a jazz guitarist. He's a good player but not the best teacher. Sometimes that is common. Sometimes you got guys who are professional players who are good players. They were sort of natural, quote unquote, natural players when they were younger, and learned off records, learned by watching people, was exposed at an early age, and they just learned how to do it. And they can't really express how they learned how to do it. They just did. So I've been a teacher for almost 20 years now. I've had all kinds of levels of students, from naturals to tenors, and I know for a fact, because I've seen it happen, anyone can learn at any skill and ability level. It's something that a process that you develop. So, and I'm looking down here, so sorry if I'm going up and down. I don't want to be freaky with the eyes and stuff. So anyway, the first thing on this video I'm going to start with is just working on B-flat 7 stuff, and also it's cool, Duffy, he talks about telling a story, and I think that that's really important. That's one thing that a lot of people have lost in their playing in jazz, so I want to talk about that as well. So let's just dig right in here. I'm going to move and hopefully get the right angle here. So I don't know why this thing looks like I'm playing left-handed. We're just going to have to go with it. Let me see. I'm going to try one thing here. No. Okay. Well, either way, you should be able to look at this and get the idea. So the first thing is your B-flat 7. Two different approaches to learning the notes. And again, if I'm going too fast or too slow, just let me know in the email, and I can go faster or slower either way. But I'm going to start from ground zero. And is that you got your B-flat 7 scale, which is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. And so I'm going to start here in 6th position or 5th position, second finger on the 6th fret. Your first finger determines the position. So this is your B-flat, and B-flat, C, D, E, flat, F, G, A flat, B flat. That's your scale with the flat 7, and the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, back to the root again. And then here's the upper octave, root, 2, 3, 4. Now right here for my fingering, I like to squeeze shift. This is a classical guitar technique where I'm actually shifting to the 6th fret, 6th position, and continuing on. This is the 5th, 6th, flat 7, root, and on up. Now here, when you have these kind of runs, you can use 1, 2, 4 or 1, 3, 4 with your fingers. So either way, flat 7 down here. So you want to be pretty proficient at that. And also with your picking down, up, and up, down, you want to strengthen your ups. Most guitar players, their downs are stronger than their ups. So to become really fast, you need to work both. You go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, so on and so forth. And then do the same thing, up, down, up, down. So both sound exactly like whether you're starting with the up or the down. Okay, so that's your sixth position. Here's your first position right here. First finger on the first fret, 1, and here's your B flat. I don't want to go too fast. If I'm going too fast, just shoot an email to me and let me know, and I can do all this slower. And as far as tabs and note reading, probably you don't have to look at this on paper to learn it. You know, it's more of an ear thing. So I would suggest, you know, not trying to deal with it on paper. Just learn it by ear and feel. You know, not only like the feeling of your fingers. And then here we go. You can do this. This is a position as well. Pinky here on the 6. Flat 7 there. Well, wrong note. And then be able to shift down to the other position. And then up here's the 6th position. And then moving on up, here's a stretch where you start first finger on the 6th fret, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, root, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And here's our grip. Then you've got up here pinky on the B flat at 13. Flat 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, root. Okay, and then what I just did leads into the second concept of you want to be good at all your positions. Whoops, I don't know why it keeps fuzzing in on me here. One I didn't hit, up at 13, you got your pinky at 13, then you can put your second finger at 13, and this is just like your open position up to the octave there. Why it's doing that. I do a squeeze shift here. Second finger, but then pinky 3, 1 down to 13. So anyway, you want to be familiar with all those scale positions. You know, basically you have 5 per scale, 5 different positions. First fret for B flat, and then 3rd through 6, 5th through 8, and then this one gets you 6 through 10, and then this is 10 through 13, and then 13 through 13 to 15, and then sliding on up. And then you could do the same. The 3rd through 6 will work up an octave. I don't know why my computer's all fritzing out on me. So anyway, that's step 1, is work on those and be comfortable with those. And then the second step is playing on one string, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mick Goodrick's Advancing Guitarist or not, but that's a great book. It's sort of an advanced book. It doesn't go through, gosh, sorry that I'm fuzzing in and out like that. I don't know why it's doing that, but anyway, but it's a good book. It's a great read, even if you're not really ready to handle it all. It's almost a book like that you could study for your entire life, you know, because he gives you all these conceptual ideas. And in the very beginning of the book, he talks about playing stuff on one string, okay, and that is really important. All the great guitar players, the best players, are masters of one string, not just positional playing. A lot of times we look at guys like Pat Martino and those dudes, and they're just master positional playing. But a lot of the greats could play up and down one string, and you want to be able to do that. And also, I think that playing on one string helps with your melodic stuff, and I want to talk about that in a sec. But just starting like right here. Here's your B flat at 6, and then just walk down the scale. And you don't have to be a stickler about fingering. You can actually just try, you know, whatever you want to do. Just play up and down one string. It's not a technique about how fast you can play, just knowing the notes. You can kind of make it into a positional type exercise where you're in one position, next position. And so then do the same thing on the B string. So here you can't hit that low B flat, but here's the 9 or the second note. So you want to do that. Can't use the open, that's a flat 9, that's a hip note, but for right now, let's not worry about alterations or anything. And then on the G string is the G. One thing to know is based on B flat, like the F is your 5th, that's your first note that you can hit. And E again, that's your flat 5, another hip note, but we're going to wait on alterations. And stick straight to the scale. So F is your 5th, this is your 9, and then G is your 6 or your 13, and then flat 7, B flat, then you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. Hit a bad note there, don't worry. And then down to the D string. The D is your 3rd. So this is an important string because your D, because the 3rd is one of the sweet notes of the chord. And again, you know, your 1, 3, 5, flat 7 are your notes. And then here's your B flat and 1st fret. And again, be able to play these scales. And then be able to play it on the bottom string. Okay, so now from there, just kind of the things I was just making up. Those are the first things that you want to be able to improvise, is just like short little fragments or licks, whatever you want to call them, you know, and to be able to be free with it, you know, on any chord, any scale, you want to be free with it and make up any kind of melody that you can hear in your head. And at first, a lot of times, another thing as far as melodies that you hear in your head, when you're learning this in the beginning, beginners, you don't hear a lot of stuff in your head. It's more of a physical exercise of getting your fingers down on the scale. But as you go and you study the physicality of it, your ears are going to be hearing your fingers play the notes. And so as you go, your ears develop more and you start to hear certain melodic ideas. So and one thing, so I'm just going to start on the one string, and to be able to take little ideas. Like I said, it could be a physical exercise at first. I'm just going to play 2 notes at one time, you know, and then you want to give it a jazz feel. So it'll be like, you know, a 1, 2, 3, 4. what I'm doing is I'm using that same I'm using the same rhythm, but just changing the notes. And my rhythm is da-be-doo bop, ba-be-doo bop, ba-be-doo bop, Scooby-Doo bop. You know, just that rhythm, and then apply that rhythm to different note patterns. And what I'm doing is just applying that rhythm to notes that are consecutive to each other within the scale, like 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So I'm just going to demonstrate. I'm going to work the whole neck doing that. You know, just work it down, up, you know. I take off the doobie-doo bop. I'll just go doobie-doo bop, doobie-da. So, okay. So there's two rhythms right there you can start with, the doobie-doo bop, doobie-doo bop, doobie-doo bop, doobie-doo bop. Okay, and then once you can do it on one string, then go to the next string, do that, and then the third, out of focus, and then the fifth, sixth, all the way across the neck. And I can't overestimate, I can't emphasize enough playing like this. Spend a lot of time doing this, and this is where improvising is going to happen first. You know, is learning how to take little rhythms that you hear in your mind, and then apply it to a technical finger pattern. And then, like I said, usually the rhythms are usually easier to hear in your mind in the beginning more than the notes. So work on the notes. You know, the notes are more of a technical exercise, and as you get more comfortable with the rhythms and learn the spacings, and that's why I like playing up and down one string in the beginning, is so you kind of see it, the intervals better. You know that this is from root to the second is 2 frets, and then 2 more frets. You know, kind of like your whole, half, whole. You know, like major scale patterns and stuff. So now I'm going to let me think of another rhythm here. And what I'm going to do this time is instead of taking it on just 2 consecutive notes, you can jump around. So I'll use the Scooby-Doo bop rhythm and keep on that here. So now I'm jumping root to the third. Okay, so but same rhythm though. Okay, maybe let me think of another rhythm here. I'll change it up just to have fun. Bop bop boo da. That's a good jazz rhythm. Do bop boop boo da. So. Little bend if you want to. So that kind of thing, you know. And to get rhythmic ideas, just listen to Duffy, listen to jazz drummers, and listen to licks that they play. And big band especially. All the vocabulary of jazz rhythms is in the big band, whether it's the drummer's fills and into sections, or just the horn section rhythms. Each section, like take a Count Basie song and listen to only the trumpets all the way through, and like listen to all the rhythms that they play throughout one whole piece, and that would be enough forever to you know, you could develop that for a year, like all the rhythms in one song of the trumpet section of the Basie band, or the sax section, or the bones for that matter, and each one has their own type of licks, you know, and their own type of rhythms based on their instrument and the way their instruments are played, you know. So I would definitely do a lot of listening in that way. Get back to that rhythm there, scoop bop boo da. Now I'm going to change to the B string. You know, and then once you get comfortable one string in it, and like I said, you can't spend enough time on the one string. It's really important. Here's another one that's really important too. Barry Harris, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a great jazz piano player, a great educator. He talks a lot about jazz and the current state of jazz. And one thing that's missing, I'm dropping my pick here, keep talking, is the use of triplets in jazz. Nowadays, you listen to everybody, it's a whole bunch of straight eighths, but that's not really, you know, if it's all straight eighths, it straightens out. So you want to work on your triplets, and eighth note triplets and quarter note triplets. And you just using three notes. So I'm going to start on, I'm just going to use the first string as an example, but everything I do all on every string, you know. The way Mick talks about it too, if you want to organize your practicing, you've got, you can take one string a day and just do everything you can think of on one string on the E string. Then the next day go to the B string, next day go to the G, next day go to the D and the A and the E, and so on and so forth. So here we go. So just triplets, okay? Triplet, 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 bump. So that's my rhythm, da ba da da ba da bum. And so it's two triplets and then ending on the eighth. So I'm going forward up the scale. You can go backwards. Now, of course, once you're good at doing that, then you can, you know, that's a good one. Triplet, ba-da-bum, and ending on that last triplet with a hit, you know, a nice accent of ba-da-da, 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 ba-da-da. Now, what I just did there, that's a good concept too, that's challenging, is that once you get a phrase and you reach the bottom note of the guitar that you can hit of your string, da ba da, and then you have to go da ba dum. You have to go to the next string, and you have to be able to intuit. At first, it's a technical exercise finding out where that next lick is going to be, but you have to be able to, in the heat of the moment of jamming, you have to be able to jump right away to that lick that you're hearing on the next string. So you got da 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 da. Oh, whoops. Flat 7. I keep hitting the major 7. Sorry. And those are all, you know, three note groupings, triplet, and then you know, so triplets, sixteenths, eighths, and rhythms. And one thing I did, the da ba da da, you know, don't forget about repeated notes. A lot of times the beginner improvisers want to play a different note every time, and especially in the blues, you know, it's like you can do one note, you know, and that's another thing. Just take rhythms. Again, going back, take a Count Basie song like Little Darlin' or any of the standards that they play, and pick out rhythms from one section and then apply it to one note. So, you know, like something like this, like da, do, da, boo, ba. That's a rhythm. So like, little slide, you know. you know, so that, you know, and then do that all over the neck. And then I would say spend a few weeks on just that, on the B-flat-7, every string up and down. Maybe, you know, depending on your level, like I said, you might be more advanced than where I'm starting at. I'm just starting at basic concepts. But this thing, even before, you know, once you do it on every string, then you can go to positional playing and do the same thing, you know. Dang, it keeps fuzzing. Here we go. Same riff, you know. Bum, 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 dun, 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 little. So then, you know, you start combining your rhythms together, and that's where the real improvisation starts to happen, as you build a vocabulary of jazz rhythms that you can just spit off when you're feeling the time. You know, you got that 2 and 4 clicking, you know, the hi-hat, and to be able to just come up with rhythms, you know, da do bop ba shoo ba do bop ba do bop and ba dee ba do ba do bop ba dee ba da ba dee bop. And I'm not singing any particular notes right now. It's just rhythms, you know. And really, one thing that beginners have a hard time with is the ands of the beat. Being able to hit the ands hard, you know, and you can talk to Duffy about this too. Being able to nail the ands with a good feel is really important, you know. So if you got your groove, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and. So that's the and of 4, the and of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and. 1 and. Boom, boom, be able to hit the and of 1, the and of 2, and of 3, and of 4. And to be able to hit it and emphasize it with a long note. Ba ba do bop. So a lick like that, you know. You know that, and again, I went to positional playing. You know, you need to be able to do both. You know, like here it is on the 1 string. Okay, just doing that. I'm sort of going stream of conscious here with you, but 2 things that I did just in that last lick: sliding, be able to slide. Be able to slide from down and up. Like I don't want to get too heavy into this now, but just for right now, again, stick to that basic exercise of the B-flat scale, and then slide in half steps from below right now. Just there's many ways to do slides, and you might know more than just that, but just do that. And then also, I'm just going to say the other thing I did a little slur going between the notes of the scale. But I would say before you do that, just slides and single notes, and this is kind of going towards telling a story. You can tell a story on B-flat-7 on 1 string. So I'm going to start again. Here's my groove, a little, you know, slow swing, and. There's triplets, slide, I did my roll between the 2, but just that little idea that I was doing, I tried to develop it. You know, you start with something simple, And in the blues, I'm sure you've heard of this, is call and response, where you play one lick, and then the next lick, the first lick is the call, and then the second lick is the response. And so the first step is to be whatever your call is, to be your response is the exact same thing. And that's a challenge too. A lot of beginner students that I have, and when I say beginner, guys that have played a few years already and are wanting to learn to get into improv and stuff more in depth, they don't remember what they just played. And so you need to keep all your ideas short and concise, just 2 or 3 notes tops, and same rhythm. So say my call is, that's my call. So then you could do that again as your response, and you could base your whole solo on call and response using two licks. One is the call and one is the response. So okay, wait a minute. Same. That's your call, response. All right, now call, response. Call, response. Call, response. And so on and so forth. And then what I did there, which I just did, which I didn't want to do, but is to take the first call, and then the response is the same notes or the same rhythm. If it's the same notes, you can change the rhythm slightly. So what I did was, here's my call. I repeated that first note, so I changed the rhythm slightly, but it's the same notes. And so that's that you can, once you're good, once you're good at remembering what you just played, then you can start to add different little rhythmic variety to your call and response, but being able to keep that call and response going, so okay. And so right there, just that little idea told a story, and another thing is, it's easy for the guitar and piano and any instrument that you don't breathe, is you got to stop playing. And again, don't try to play a whole bunch of notes. 4 notes. If you're playing more than 4 notes, you're playing too much in the beginning. Even though I played a couple of licks that were maybe 5 or 6 notes, but in the beginning you want to spend a lot of time developing your fragments. And come up with as many different kind of rhythms as possible. Apply that to call and response, up and down every string, and then go to positions and to be able to do it in positional playing. So I hope this first video helps you, and just let me know what you think, if it was too easy, too hard, or whatever. But I would do that first. Once you got the B flat down, then go to E flat 7, do E flat 7 the same way. Okay, and now we're talking about, this is many weeks worth of work just doing those 2 chords right there. Just take B flat 7, then E flat 7, and then your F7, and just start with just your regular 3-chord blues. And then once you got your F7, E flat 7, B flat 7, all strings up and down, all your bassy rhythms, and then positional playing, then add the C minor 7 chord in there to the blues, and then you could add in your E diminished as well, you know, and I'll talk about diminished chords in another section. A lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about diminished chords, and there's a lot to cover in diminished. So before you work on diminished, have all your 3 basic dominant 7s down: B flat 7, E flat 7, F7, and then add the C minor. And so when you're doing that, you got, here's your jazz blues. And then the same thing with your comping, being able to slide in from just a half step up. And then C minor 7. So work on those 4 chords first, and do everything I did on B flat 7, and that will take you a long way. Like I said, take, you know, Basie Straight Ahead, Sleeping Bee, Cute, Nice and Easy, all the, all the Neil Hefti, Sammy Nestico stuff, you know, that he did with Basie Straight Ahead. Listen to those rhythms and cop the rhythms. You don't have to cop the notes, but just the rhythms of the different sections, and to be able to emulate those on the guitar. So I hope that helps. Looking forward to your email, and I'm going to post this on YouTube and share the link with you. Okay? Thanks a lot, and I really, again, appreciate the email and your interest, and I hope this helps.